In the Equipment Assets tab, you may recall that in the General Assumptions tab we had the option of putting in 0 for registered places, in which case we would have to manually input our equipment assets, or type in a number which related to our registered places, in which case the system would use its inbuilt equipment assets figure. So in this case the system has actually identified that we've used a value greater than 0 for the number of registered places in the General Assumptions tab. So the system will now actually use the inbuilt value for equipment assets that it holds, and this is used for the purposes of depreciation within the model. We can, however, add any new items of equipment that we have purchased by simply typing in the name and creating that entry, which is something that you're familiar with. We've done this before. We can actually put in multiple entries here, and you can see here what it's asking us to do is to type in the actual value associated with that entry, and that is repeated again in years 2 and years 3. Now let's assume that we want to manually input the equipment assets without the system's predefined equipment value asset figure. So let me just show you how this works. If we go back into General Assumptions, and here instead of putting in the number of registered places we put in 0. Now bear in mind that what I want to do now is to save this tab, so click on Save, and we can see that it has been successfully saved. Now move back down to the Equipment Assets tab. You can see that it's removed the previous statement here, and it's inviting us now to actually input our equipment assets. So we start by putting in the opening balance of our assets as we would estimate them, and then simply put in one at a time the assets that we have within the setting. And we're building this up, you see, one at a time. So for as many items as you've got, we complete the actual input here, and then simply put in the asset value as we would see it, and build the picture up in this way, and repeat this now for years 2 and years 3.